In a quaint little town nestled between rolling hills and serene rivers, there existed a place that the locals called the Enchanted Garden. It was a sprawling expanse of land, bursting with vibrant flowers, ancient trees, and a myriad of hidden pathways that seemed to lead to otherworldly realms. The garden was not just a sanctuary for nature, but a keeper of countless tales of love, loss, and magic. Isabella Hartley, a young woman of 26, had always felt a deep connection to the Enchanted Garden. She had grown up in the town, listening to her grandmother's stories about the garden's mystical properties and the many secrets it held. Her grandmother, Eleanor, was a renowned botanist and had dedicated her life to studying the unique flora that thrived there. Isabella, inheriting her grandmother's passion, often found solace among the blooms, spending hours sketching the intricate details of each petal and leaf. Isabella's life was simple yet fulfilling. She worked as an illustrator for a publishing house, creating enchanting artwork for children's books. Her evenings were often spent in the garden, where she would lose herself in her art and the beauty surrounding her. However, despite her love for the garden and her work, Isabella couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was missing from her life. One summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast a golden glow over the garden, Isabella set out on her usual walk. The air was thick with the scent of jasmine and honeysuckle, and the gentle hum of bees created a soothing melody. She wandered deeper into the garden than she ever had before, drawn by a mysterious pull she couldn't explain. As she rounded a corner, she stumbled upon a hidden glade. In the center stood an old, gnarled tree with sprawling branches and a trunk so wide it would take several people to encircle it. Intrigued, Isabella approached the tree and noticed an inscription carved into the bark: "To those who seek, love shall find." Curiosity piqued, Isabella traced the carving with her fingers. The moment she touched the tree, a soft breeze rustled the leaves, and she heard a whisper, a gentle, melodic voice that seemed to come from all around her. "Isabella," the voice said, "you have been chosen." Startled, Isabella looked around but saw no one. "Who are you?" she called out, her voice trembling. "I am the spirit of the garden," the voice replied. "I have watched over this place for centuries, and now I have chosen you to fulfill a destiny intertwined with this land." Confusion and excitement swirled within Isabella. "What destiny?" she asked, her heart pounding. "You must find the heart of the garden," the spirit said. "There, you will discover a love that transcends time and space." Before Isabella could ask any more questions, the voice faded, and the garden fell silent once more. Determined to uncover the mystery, she set out to find the heart of the garden. Days turned into weeks as Isabella explored every nook and cranny of the garden. She discovered hidden groves, secret ponds, and ancient statues covered in moss, each revealing a piece of the garden's history. Yet the heart of the garden remained elusive. One evening, as she sat by a bubbling brook, feeling a mix of frustration and determination, she noticed a faint glow emanating from a thicket nearby. Intrigued, she made her way toward the light, pushing aside the branches to reveal a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a magnificent rosebush, its blooms radiating a soft, golden light. Isabella approached the rosebush, her breath catching in her throat. She reached out to touch one of the glowing roses, and as she did, a figure emerged from the shadows. "Hello, Isabella," the figure said, stepping into the light. He was a tall, handsome man with dark hair and piercing blue eyes. He wore clothes that seemed to belong to another era, and his presence exuded an air of mystery and charm. "Who are you?" Isabella asked, her voice barely a whisper. "My name is Adrian," he replied. "I am the guardian of the Enchanted Garden." Isabella's heart raced as she looked into Adrian's eyes. There was something familiar about him, as if she had known him all her life. "The spirit of the garden spoke to me," she said. "It told me I had a destiny to fulfill." Adrian nodded. "Yes, you do. The garden has chosen you to restore the balance and awaken the magic that has lain dormant for centuries." As they spoke, Isabella felt an inexplicable connection to Adrian, as if their souls were intertwined. Over the next few weeks, Adrian guided her through the garden, teaching her about its history, its magic, and the bond they shared. They spent their days exploring and their nights under the stars, their hearts growing closer with each passing moment. Isabella learned that Adrian was not just a guardian, but also a protector of the garden's secrets. He had been bound to the garden centuries ago, cursed to remain there until true love broke the spell. The garden had chosen Isabella not only to awaken its magic, but also to free Adrian from his eternal guardianship. One evening, as they stood by the glowing rosebush, Adrian took Isabella's hands in his. "Isabella," he said softly, "the time has come. The heart of the garden is not a place, but a bond, our bond. Only our love can break the curse and restore the garden's magic." Tears filled Isabella's eyes as she realized the depth of their connection. "Adrian, I love you," she whispered. "And I love you," Adrian replied, his voice filled with emotion. As they kissed, a radiant light enveloped them, and the garden came alive with vibrant colors and the sweet melody of nature. The curse was broken, and Adrian was free. Isabella and Adrian's love story became the stuff of legends, told and retold by the townsfolk for generations. They remained the keepers of the Enchanted Garden, their love and magic binding them to the land they cherished. Together, they ensured that the garden remained a sanctuary of beauty and love, a place where anyone who sought true love would find it. Years passed, and the garden flourished under their care. Isabella continued her work as an illustrator, her art now infused with the magic of the garden. Adrian, free from his curse, shared his knowledge and passion for nature with the world, teaching others about the importance of preserving such magical places. Their love only grew stronger with time, and the garden became a symbol of hope and enchantment. People from all over came to visit, drawn by the tales of the Enchanted Garden and the couple whose love had brought it to life. Isabella and Adrian lived a long and happy life, their love story a testament to the power of destiny and the magic that exists in the world. They knew that as long as the Enchanted Garden stood, their love would continue to inspire and enchant all who visited. And so, the legend of the Enchanted Garden lived on, a timeless tale of love, magic, and the enduring bond between two souls destined to be together forever. As the years turned into decades, the bond between Isabella and Adrian only grew stronger. The Enchanted Garden, under their care, became a haven for those who sought solace and inspiration. It was said that those who entered the garden with a pure heart could feel the love and magic that permeated the very air. Isabella and Adrian often walked hand in hand through the garden, sharing quiet moments and reflecting on the incredible journey that had brought them together. They spent their days tending to the plants, nurturing the wildlife, and welcoming visitors who came to experience the garden's beauty. One day, as they sat by the ancient tree where Isabella had first heard the garden's call, Adrian turned to her with a thoughtful expression. "Isabella, have you ever wondered about the stories that will be told about us in the future?" Isabella smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "I have. I hope that our story inspires others to believe in the power of love and the magic that exists in the world." Adrian nodded, his eyes filled with love and admiration for the woman beside him. "Our love is eternal, Isabella. It will live on in the hearts of those who hear our tale and visit this garden." As the seasons changed, the garden continued to thrive, its magic becoming even more potent. The flowers bloomed with vibrant colors, the trees grew taller and stronger, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of nature's bounty. Visitors who came to the garden often remarked on the sense of peace and wonder they felt, attributing it to the love that Isabella and Adrian shared. One summer, a young couple named Emily and James visited the garden. They had heard the stories of the Enchanted Garden and were eager to experience its magic for themselves. As they wandered through the garden, they felt a sense of connection and love that they had never experienced before. Emily, an aspiring artist, was captivated by the beauty of the garden. She spent hours sketching the flowers, trees, and hidden pathways, inspired by the enchanting surroundings. James, a writer, found himself filled with a sense of creativity and wonder as he penned stories about the garden and the love that had brought it to life. One evening, as the sun set and cast a golden glow over the garden, Emily and James found themselves standing by the ancient tree with the inscription, "To those who seek, love shall find." They looked at each other, their hearts full of love and gratitude for the magic they had found in the garden. "Emily," James said softly, taking her hands in his, "this place has shown me the true meaning of love. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Tears filled Emily's eyes as she smiled and nodded. "Yes, James, I feel the same way. This garden has brought us closer together, and I believe it's a sign that we are meant to be." As they kissed, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the ancient tree, and the garden seemed to come alive with a renewed sense of magic. Isabella and Adrian, watching from a distance, shared a knowing smile. They knew that the garden had once again worked its magic, bringing two souls together in love. Over the years, many couples visited the Enchanted Garden, each finding their own unique connection and love story within its magical confines. Isabella and Adrian continued to care for the garden, their love serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all who entered. As they grew older, their love remained as strong as ever. They often reflected on the incredible journey that had brought them together and the magic that had kept them bound to the garden. They knew that their love was a gift, one that they cherished and nurtured every day. One winter, as the first snowflakes began to fall, Isabella and Adrian sat by the fireplace in their cozy cottage, reflecting on the many years they had spent together. The garden, blanketed in snow, looked like a scene from a fairy tale, its beauty undiminished by the cold. "Isabella," Adrian said, his voice soft and filled with emotion, "do you remember the day we first met in the garden?" Isabella smiled, her eyes twinkling with the memory. "Of course I do, Adrian. It was the day my life changed forever." Adrian took her hand, holding it gently. "I knew from that moment that you were the one I'd been waiting for. Our love has brought so much magic and joy to this garden and to our lives." Tears filled Isabella's eyes as she squeezed his hand. "I love you, Adrian. Our love is the greatest gift I could have ever received." As they sat together, the fire crackling softly, they knew that their love would endure for eternity. The garden, a testament to their bond, would continue to inspire and enchant all who visited, a living legacy of the magic and love that Isabella and Adrian had shared. And so, the legend of the Enchanted Garden lived on, a timeless tale of love, magic, and the enduring bond between two souls destined to be together forever. The garden remained a sanctuary of beauty and wonder, a place where love blossomed and dreams came true. Isabella and Adrian's love story, woven into the very fabric of the garden, would continue to inspire generations to come, a reminder that true love is a force that transcends time and space.